What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Banish for Cause podcast. I'm your host, E-HeroesForged, and we got a special one for you today because today is the mark of the very first episode of me doing video chat podcasts, and none other than we have Dark Magician Tactics to help kick this thing off. Mr. Tactics, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Good. Thank you so much for having me here. I do appreciate it. We've been talking about doing this for a while, and I don't think it could have come at a better time to do this.
Oh yeah,
with
definitely
support and things to talk about. So, ready when you are.
Oh yeah.
Friend.
Oh yeah, let's get into it, brother. So you and I just got back this weekend from the regional out in Mississippi, and we both had our hero support, our Dark Magician support. So for reasons like that, Maze of Moros was really, really good. It really gave some spice to the deck and whatever. So just kind of starting off with a positive there. How are you feeling about the new DM cards?
Dude, I could be more excited, and then now after especially proxying them and practicing since they were announced in the OCG, so for about 8 or 9 months is how long I've been using them. To finally have the cards in my hand and to play in a real professional setting that counts and matters with the real cards, it couldn't have been more bittersweet to finally have the new cards actually here. You know what I mean? It truly is special. And same question for you, man. We pulled your cards together. We didn't do it on stream, but we got your cards. We pulled them together. We got a couple boxes of Maze. How did it feel to have the new cards?
The same way, man. Like, we've been playing with the proxies, for months, and in my opinion, I do think, I honestly feel like the deck just shuffles different. It just feels good to have the real thing in there.
That's what she said.
You don't have to keep telling your opponent, hey, man, I got proxies. But I mean,
right.
In our local area, they know you're the DM guy, I'm the hero guy, so they know we're playing
locals,
proxies.
Man, absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to locals for letting us do it for so long.
They're fire, man. They definitely help us get better in that aspect. And the deck is just so much smoother. It has more lines as far as getting to our poly plays and getting contrast on field. Feels good to summon that, to have a somewhat of protection for your Dark Law and things. But on your end, with y'all got a couple new cards. So right. What is it? Gaze of Timaeus, D-Mod, the new trap card, everything like that. What are your ratios looking like? Are you still satisfied? I mean, you can only play what you pull, but is the deck still the same from playtesting, or are you going in a direction where you think you may get more ratios, or you may lower the ratios? What are you thinking on that end?
Yeah, so for me, off the bat, we only pulled one D-Mod. You actually pulled it in your box when I was right next to you, and vice versa. I pulled all of your hero cards, which
exactly.
So the playtesting deck, I had 2 D-Mods, no Timaeus, the United Magi Dragon, and 2 Gaze of Timaeus, the quick play fusion card.
Right.
In the regional, I was able to get my hands on 2 Gaze of Timaeus quick plays, only the 1 D-Mod, and then we wound up pulling 3 or 4 Magi Dragons, but we only played the 1. I definitely felt the pressure only having 1 D-Mod. Personally, I don't know anybody who's really been playing 1. I myself can't see a list where only 1 makes sense. I think 3 is a little too much, because depending on what you want to play and how you want to play the new Dark Magician support, obviously the ratios matter. But I haven't seen one where you need 3 D-Mod, and I haven't seen one where you need 3 Magi Dragons. So only having access to the 1 D-Mod, I felt the pressure. I still need 1 more. I'm going to order mine pretty soon because I'm not going to pull any more packs from Maze of Muertos. So only having the 1 really made me think how to play, when to play, Gaze to fusion summon into him, if I could shuffle him back at all, because making him is easy, right? People don't know, I know this is your hero channel, but with Dark Magician of Destruction, you need to activate a spell card on your turn, and then you contribute summon a level 6 or higher dark spellcaster. So for me, that's pretty easy playing Shining Sarcophagus. We have access to Shining Sark DMG, Shining Sark DM, and a couple of other cards that you could play for that. So it's really not hard to do, but there's a few times I had players really reading Gaze, because you can go spell Gaze, the quick and not make
during testing,
and not make your target, because Gaze targets. So you have to declare your target. You can either declare this Dark Magician the fusion, or you can make Dark Magician the Magician of Black Magic a target. That's the Shining Sark Dark Magician. So you have to declare, and most of the time he's in the grave, so you can 100% go spell that. So I felt the pressure for that. And then my strategy personally, I play a graveyard control Shining Sark build, which is, I don't really care about my graveyard, especially if I have 2 D-Mod, but only having access to the one at a regional definitely felt the pressure on that. So it did make me really consider what I wanted to do and when I could activate the things that I wanted to activate.
Oh, yeah. I definitely noticed a difference with you only having 1 D-Mod, because it felt like you were, I'm not going to say timid, like I would say more on the nervous side, like, man, like if I commit to this, I could lose my D-Mod and then like this play's kind of dead. Like, or if I go this other route and he's in my graveyard, like in today's Yu-Gi-Oh, it's nothing to just remove something out the graveyard. So, like 100%. That's definitely something to worry about. So yeah, we definitely got to get you that other card, and then, I mean, bro, like, and not to, I'm gonna say, but let somebody go watch a video, because you definitely have a really cool line with, was it Platinum Gadget and all that? So I'm not gonna spoil that on this podcast. I want people to go over and watch your channel. Y'all got, have you posted that yet? That combo or
no, not the combo specifically, but I do have like the deck profile on my channel. So if anybody wants to see the combo, I can certainly post how to do it, and I do plan on making some tutorial videos for that, because since that regional, looking into Alabama and Kenner for the next 2 that I know we've been talking about attending, my deck list, it still functions the same, but there's about 3 to 6 cards that have changed, but it's still the same graveyard control, Banish style play, and Platinum Gadget still remains in this list. So
oh yeah, man. And then like a huge shout out to you, because like over the weekend we got like news that like we were hearing about like Yummy DM, and we're hearing about Triff playing Shining Sark, like Yummy or Shining Sark Typhoon, something like that, whatever he's put together. But like the Shining Sark engine, you've been saying from the beginning that you think this is going to be the most consistent and dominant version of the deck. And now we're seeing a lot of these top players kind of like reflect that statement. And, huge kudos to you, because like you've been on it for months, and so bro, like you're cooking. So like, how does that make you feel to see like these big names, like really taking your idea and just running with it, bro?
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, and I mean, it's cool. I'm not gonna, thank you for thinking of me, but I'm not gonna take all the credit, because I myself have yet to try Yummy Shining Sark. Shout out to Francis, Gohan, and Richard. They're the ones who have really hammered Yummy DM, and it's a very combo heavy deck. So I myself haven't learned it, mostly because I don't own the Yummy cards for it, but I have, thank you, and I will take credit for this. I have said that I think Shining Sark DM will be the most popular way to play the new support. I don't know if it'll be the most competitive. I think that might be reserved for Dia Bellstar DM, but as far as popularity, we've seen the price rises with the Shining Sark DMG. She's, as of recording this, I think she's like $220 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
QCR, yeah, the QCR. So she's wicked expensive. And then as of recording this video today, the final card for the Overframe set is a Dark Magician Dark Magic Curtain Retrain. So I think there's going to be a lot of popularity with Dark Magician. I think it has a spot and potential to be meta contending. again at the regional, I went 0-3, which is funny to say out loud, but I did win games, and one of them was against,
Right.
some of the meta decks and stuff like that. So, and I have been winning games in practice at locals and stuff. So, the potential for competitiveness is there. And I think Shining Sark, again, just to reiterate it, will be the most popular way to play it. It's my personal favorite way to play it as well.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just from talking to you and hearing things from Matchy and watching his channel, and then obviously Gohan that's in y'all's group, like, man, y'all are cooking. I think y'all are doing excellent with the DM strategy, and I think y'all are going to take it to heights that that nobody else is going to reach, because man, y'all are just cooking.
Well, thank you, man.
With the positives kind of out of the way, I've got some negatives I'd like to talk about, and I want your opinion on some things. So
of course, what you got?
Because this has to do with your DM cards. So we're looking at your new. Let's just start with Gaze of Timaeus. The bleeding on the artwork. Just the quality of the card. It feels like it's just like secondhand, and like I know some of Konami's sets have been like that. And it's not to completely trash every product they put out, because it's not all of them. It's really not. But it just feels like it's this one. And what makes it worse is this is a side set. So not only is it a side set, you put poor effort into it. You don't even make the cards crisp. So where are you at on the card quality? Like, I mean, does it infuriate you, or is it just like disappointing? Where are you at on it?
I mean, it's honestly, it's beyond disappointing. Like, I will never buy another box, pack, or whatever it is of Maze of Moros. At least the North American set of it, right? I have a lot of international friends, and they have the Euro prints of it, and they're beautiful, 100%, no problems. But for some reason, the quality, the promotion to this, just everything with it is disgusting, to be quite frank. The card itself is exactly what I wanted. We got a fusion, we got new cards, great. My problem is, like you mentioned, and it's one of the problems, the quality of the cards. They're all over the place, they're not consistent, and that's sad. One, as a semi-competitive player, I want my cards to look good. And then for the collectors, like, I myself am not a collector, but I have friends who are. And the fact that you get these bleeding cards missing pieces of the text, we saw this in the opening, and it's not even just Dark Magician cards, it's the set, dude. Like, there's other cards in there that were almost completely missing letters. Someone had a card, a Gaze of Timaeus that they pulled the other day. A whole letter was wrong in Timaeus. It's awful quality. It's funny to think about.
It's laughable, you
don't have these problems in Europe and stuff like that. So it's like, well, why are we stuck with that? On top of, and this is my next issue with it, is why is Heroes and Dark Magician having to share like you mentioned, a side set? It's not even a main set, a side set with so much, to be quite frank with you, like, nonsense. And it's no shade at the other cards that are in there. I'm glad people have the new pumpkin support. That's cool. I myself have looked into it. Like, I probably will play it for fun. I'm glad we got it. But why were so many things put in this box? Like, I'll try to remember them and count them out. So you got Dark Magician, Heroes, the Call of the Haunted stuff, the Chibi stuff, the potential for a Starlight of a random Uriah. What else?
Magnet Warriors.
There was
the
Makonko stuff. We're already at 7. There's probably a few more things in there. And then you look at, kind of back to the collector side of it, the secrets are split between the chibis and a secret card. It's just like, so the pull ratios for my cards are they're trash, dude.
Right.
So
I definitely think that Heroes and DM got I would say the shaft, like, in different ways, because like, I do think, like, Heroes have always been known to have, like, really pretty arts, like really nice secret rares, QCRs, whatever, Starlights right now, but like, we pretty much all the cards in our set were supers and ultras, and then Like, I personally don't think the quality was that great. I think, you know, like, obviously I think the art is really cool, but like the rarity of it as far as like the super, it's the same as it was in the Chronicles structure
Right.
deck, which I don't
Right.
love. I don't love those rares. And, you know, it's not always about that, but at the same time, to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying as far as like not buying packs, bro, it's hard to pull these cards. Like,
Yeah.
dude, okay, so to reference, there, one of the YouTubers I watch, Heroes Only, he said that he bought like 54 packs, so that's what, 2.5 boxes or something like that. And he's like, bro, I pulled one hero card, like one of each hero card. Like, it shouldn't be like that. And then you give us alt arts, you know, even for y'all have the alt art for what, Secrets of Dark Magic, and
Never
we
pulled
had
one, by the way.
yeah, we have Mass Change and Dark Law. And then to find out that it's harder to pull the alt arts than it is the secrets, like,
Yeah.
or like, that's insane to me. Like, I just,
and we pulled them. Like, I pulled the
Yeah.
Alt-Art Dark Law and Mass Change for you in my set. And then again, you know, shout out to Matchy and stuff like that. He told me that his locals, I think they did like 3 cases or something like that, or 4 cases that they opened at his locals. And I think the ratio for pulling a D-Mod was like 1 in every 3.5 boxes.
right. That's insane.
So it's like, it's ridiculous. So the only solace I find in this is like, it'll 100% be reprinted. It just sucks that it's probably going to take like a year for it to get reprinted.
right.
And then the price will come down a little bit. I mean, I don't think the hero cards are that expensive. So if you want higher rarities, I understand that sucks that the hero cards are higher rarities. But for Dark Magician specifically, it's I think D-Mod is still sitting around like 42 or 44 USD. Gaze, I think, is actually Gaze went up a little bit. I think it's in the 20s again. And then the Dark Magician, I'm sorry, the Tamias Fusion is relatively cheap, but I pulled my place out of that. So yeah, the fact that it'll get reprinted in a year is, I mean, it sucks, but it, you know, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, like, I do think, like, obviously the artwork on these cards are phenomenal. So like D-Mod and Gaze were beautiful, especially as secret rares. Like, I can't tell you how thrilled I am that those were not printed as ultras or supers, because those deserve to be secrets. But then I look at your Secrets of Dark Magic alternate art, and then I see Mass Change and then the new Dark Law. Like, I think those should have been secrets as well. I think sharing it with chibis, like half of the secrets being chibis, you know, like, I just, I don't agree. I don't like that. I don't feel this was the set for that. And I think I'm on my end more upset that we had to share secret rares with chibis. Like, I can understand, like, on your end as far as it being just like too much in the set as far as filling it. But like, if you would have made the DM card secret like they did, and then certain hero cards secret, then I think you'd have sold even more of the set, because then you have more chase cards. Because like, I think D-Mod and Gaze were the only chase cards in this set. Like, who wants a Starlight Uriah? Like, who wants that?
I mean, yeah, for me, for sure. And again, you know, it's no smite at like chibis and stuff. Like, I have some chibis and they're cool, but why did they have to be in this set? You can have secret chibis, that's fine. But why are you sharing it and then splitting it? You're sharing it with 10 other things, and then you're making it half of the pull rate of the secrets already. Like, I think they really dropped the ball on this set. And in terms of quality, pull rates, and demand, which is sad. But like I said, I won't spend my money on this set specifically anymore.
Exactly. And, you know, like, kind of an added thing to put in there is, I think that's going to affect the market as well, because like, I know players like yourself are just waiting for, you know, like D-Mod to settle. It'll probably settle maybe in the 30s if I had to guess, maybe staying in the low 40s, but it's going to settle there because nobody's going to buy these boxes. And so like, if people pull more copies, the more that are available, you know, sometimes that'll drive the price down a little bit. But yeah, man, I just, it sucks that that's the way it is, because I'm with you. I'm not buying no more. I mean, I have all the cards I want. I'd love to have the collector's rare Voltic Thunder, but I don't need it. You know, like, it's not worth me chasing it. You know, if it was like, if the alternate art Dark Law was like that, you know, I'd probably invest a little more, but you know, to me, it's just not worth it. And
I agree.
it is what it is, you know, but to kind of, let's jump out of the negative. Let's uplift some spirits. So with that behind us, let's look more towards the future. Let's look at the new Heroes Collection. It's Heroes Collection, I think is the set, is what it is.
Right.
You had touched on it earlier about the new Dark Magician Girl card, the Dark Curtain is what it was.
Yeah, Dark Magic Curtain or Dark Magical Curtain. It's a retrain of an older card, and they just
I
put
how do you feel about it? What do you think about that? Yeah.
The card itself, I think, is really cool. I was in a couple of phone calls this morning on my way to work, and throughout the day, just chatting with the community because it was the last card announced in the Overframe collection cards for the Heroes that gets released this week in the OCG as of recording this video. So that's really cool. The card itself, it's a card that allows you to special summon a dark spellcaster from your deck. Or maybe it's just a spellcaster from your deck. And then, yeah, the fact that you can now just turbo out a vanilla DM. A vanilla DM isn't a brick anymore. Vanilla DMG isn't a brick anymore. And then if you choose to go the route of Gaze Fusion Summon into a Dragoon, the Dragoon now has the live pop. That's something that we've been lacking as of recently, especially for myself, because he's not made with a vanilla DM. So I think it's fine. And then, yeah, the fact that it's a quick play is pretty awesome. The biggest thing that's turned people's heads this morning is like the art. It just feels so random to have Dark Magician Girl on the cover, and there's this little tiny curtain in the background from the original art. It's a little weird, but I don't really care that much for the art of it. But the fact that it is what it does with Pharaoh's Servant, I couldn't be happier as a Dark Magician player in 2026. Like, we got everything we've asked for, so in my mind, there's no reason to complain at all.
You know, I think I'd love to be a fly on the wall whenever y'all have y'all's little Dark Magician meetings. You know, just like so like obviously I've had conversations with Matchy, and you know, like, and the dude is so brilliant, and just from the things you said about Gohan and some of the other guys in that Discord, man.
Yeah.
Like when I see these cards come out, all I can think of is like, man, I bet those are some fire conversations that they have, and you know, like that's just
the combos. Like that's what the Dark Magician Discord is, and some smaller chats that I'm in and stuff like that, and people just don't stop, and it's truly amazing the passion and how much people put into really trying to push this deck from what it used to be to what it can be now. It's like I said, there's no reason to complain as a Dark Magician player in 2026.
No, not many things to complain for. The thing we can complain about is these damn arts getting the artsy bleeding or whatever. You know, like that. We can complain. Yeah, the quality. We can complain about that. You know, so like, man, I think Dark Magician and that archetype is definitely trending upward, especially with these new sets coming out, these new rarities coming out, and it's an exciting time for. Like Boomer Yu-Gi-Oh, like
right.
you're my boomer, and like like 100%. It's like I'm living vicariously through you in this time, like, because like I love seeing that your deck is going from this place to just here, but theoretically though, I don't think that Dark Magician is going to be like this tier 1 meta engine or anything like that, or deck. Right. Let's say tier 1 deck, but I will say I think it will be meta defining as an engine in some of these other decks, like you're talking about Diabell Star and like decks that can, like, I don't want to say take advantage of it, but really utilize it in different ways, so, but still, like, that's what I believe that's what the Dark Magician community would kind of want, like more representation of DM, because the more you see it, the more you respect it, the more you quote unquote fear it, so I think that's an excellent place to be in. Like, what do you think? Like, is that like appealing to you, or are you more on the hush hush about DM as being like meta relevant in that sense?
No, I wouldn't say hush hush. I've never been one to gatekeep the combos, the decks, the builds. Like, I want this deck to do well, and I want my friends and people who watch and support me to do well with it if they choose to play it. Do I think Dark Magician will be like Blue Eyes and what was it, 2020? No, 2016 when it won Worlds? No, I don't think it's going to win Worlds. What I do think is with enough creativity and people willing to put in work to learn new things with these new cards, I do think that Dark Magician can see competitive play at OYCS. Definitely higher than a regional, but yes, OYCS. Will it win a YCS? I don't know. I'm not too sure, but from what I've seen, and this is surprisingly what gets backlash when it comes to Dark Magician, is I think a lot of people, when they think of Dark Magician, they want to do it like the anime way, right? They want to roll up there with 3 vanillas and BMG and all this, and that's not going to win OYCS. That's not going to top OYCS. You might get a couple of cool locals wins with that, but it will be something like Shining Stark or Dia Bellstar with the new support, or Yummy DM, you know. And then without getting too deep into the rabbit hole, you'll always have the people go, well, that's not DM. And it's like, well, is Dark Magician on the field? Is Dragoon on the field? Is Dark Magician of Destruction on the field? Is the Gaze of Timaeus on the field? Like, yeah, it's Dark Magician, buddy. I hate to break it to you.
That's it. Yeah.
So if you can allow yourself to, you know, want to learn some of these higher combo heavy or competitive decks, yes, I think Dark Magician will be very successful, especially at a level of a YCS. I think it has potential to definitely compete against the meta, at least this current format, what we're in right now. We still have some time before Pharaoh Servant gets to us. And by then we will be in a different format. So right now, just with the cards that we have available, yes, I do think that it can compete with a good bit of the current meta.
Oh yeah, I definitely think going first with Dark Magician is very, very deadly. You and I have played countless duels, and you know, a lot of times it is about who goes first, and then sometimes it's about like where did you hand trap the right way? You know, like you actually got to sit there and think about Dark Magician now, and I think that's really, really good. But to kind of piggyback off what you said about like builds for Dark Magician, I think that's what makes Yu-Gi-Oh just so great, because it's the same way in the hero community. You know, it's more about ratios and deck counts, not necessarily about like how you build your hero deck, because you got guys that like Primite, you got guys that like Evil Heroes, you got guys that like the Neospatians. I mean, to me, those are heroes. And you know, I think that's the beauty of it, is you find something that fits your play style, something that you're going to have fun with, because at the end of the day, it's a card game. At the end of the day, you're playing with your friends, and you know, and then there's some guys in there that just want to be competitive. And you know, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think, you know, like you and I believe have met some of the best people I could ever meet in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and you know, at our locals and on YouTube. And it's been a magical journey, and I can't wait to see where we go and see what you do with Dark Magician. And you know, like we've got more regionals coming. Hopefully we can get another YCS under our belt soon. And you know, like I'm excited to see where we go, brother. And you know,
to kind of go off what you just said though, like it feels a little bit sweeter to win games with these rogue decks though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I've never played a meta deck. You yourself have. You brought it to OYCS and stuff like that. So you could definitely speak on this probably more than I can. But the fact that these rogue decks that were just pet decks at, you know, locals, you might squeeze a win every now and then. You play other rogue decks, it's fun. The fact that we can now go play, you know, Branded Dracotail or Radiant Typhoon or Yummy, and you go, oh shit, like this is, I'm winning this. I've won games with this deck that people have played meta decks with, and it's that much sweeter to say, man, I got what I asked for support wise, and I'm winning games. It's amazing. It really is.
I've said it in countless podcast videos, countless just deck profile videos, whatever. And man, like when you play heroes, you know, like you're playing with a brick house. Like it's just a deck full of bricks, you know. And
Yeah.
Like, it's just how you manage the deck and manage your resources. But like you have all these things that can hold you back. So it's so easy to just say, man, I'm tired of playing this, like I'm tired of never having advantage or whatever. But man, when you combo off, you get the victory. It's so much sweeter. It really is. Like when I played, like when you brought up meta, I played Shark Ryziel. Like yeah, the deck was smooth. It didn't hardly ever brick. If a brick was like 5 hand traps, that was a brick. Like for me, it's just, and I know heroes, like that's my deck. Like so. There's not much I can't do with it. Like I just proved that this past weekend as far as competing against these big decks like Branded Draco Tail, and just like the looks on their faces when they're like, oh my god, like you're playing heroes, like it's the best. And I know it's like that for DM, and I do think y'all will get the respect y'all deserve coming, and the deck just hasn't been out long enough. Everybody's been playtesting, but no one has all the cards yet. Damn set with hard to pull ratios and
right.
But yeah, that's really all I've got for you today, my brother. I really appreciate you coming on here and helping me kickstart this. This is definitely something new I want to bring to my channel, and I'm gonna have a lot of guys on here. Like eventually I'd love to get you, Matchy, and anybody else we can get on here, and it's gonna be great. I think this is something special, and I truly appreciate you kicking this off with me, man.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, man. And, thank you for the kind words. And I really do appreciate it. And, you've had several conversations with my Dark Magician friends. I would love to have more of the hero players on here and let me talk to them, because, you're the only person I really know that plays heroes. And I think I know a little bit about it, but there's always, room for learning and other people's opinions and how they want to talk about it and play about it. So whenever you're ready, man, I'll be right here ready to get back on with you. So
that's what I love to hear, guys. I really hope you enjoyed content like this. If you like Dark Magician or anything to do with Dark Magician, head over to Dark Magician Tactics. Go subscribe to him. A lot of great videos over there. My boy's cooking. He's going to do something special. I can feel it. But if you have anything you'd like to add to this conversation, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. We respond to everything. I will plug the Dark Magician Tactics channel in the comments. And guys, I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Heroes Best Deck.